Yo guys, Mike for Sim Racing 604, and you are looking at the MPH Callahan V8 for Assetto Corsa from Race Sim Studio. This is, as you probably can guess, based on the current Cadillac Hypercar racing in the top level of endurance motorsport. It's a pretty amazing car. Of course, Race Sim Studio always delivers. The problem, well, we already have this car. We have it from two other modding teams, United Racing Design and VRC. Those two teams, plus Race Sim Studio, form what I call the big three of Assetto Corsa modding, and they are all stepping on each other's toes in this case. And it puts this car in kind of a funny spot. We have to weigh, is this car worth it? Are we going to spend our hard-earned money a third time for this car? And Race Sim Studio, very late to the party. And of course we would say, well, sure, but they're trying to bring the entire current lineup of WEC or IMSA to Assetto Corsa, and the Cadillac is part of that. They don't want to have to rely on competitors. You could also say they probably started development of this car long before United Racing Design or VRC released their versions, so eventually they're going to get to a release point, and that's where we are now. So not necessarily Race Sim Studio's fault, however, it does put the consumer in a bad spot. Do we buy this car for a third time? Are the differences between this car and United Racing Designs or VRCs, which are both amazing cars in their own right and good choices for sim racers, does this compete with that? Does it exceed that? Well, that's what we're going to try to find out today. So let's jump on track and we'll find out what we think of this Callahan V8. All right, here we are on board the Callahan here at Daytona. As you can see, no screen. The car is broken. Nothing happens when I press the gas. Well, we got to start it. You probably saw the top of your screen there. So I for ignition. Systems are firing up. S for start. We have engine life. Clutch. Lovely, lovely V8 sound here. And in all likelihood, okay, I was going to say I would enter anti-stall. I have historically struggled with the anti-stall system that Race Sim Studio uses. Oh, don't mind me just bashing into walls with a $1 million plus hypercar. And we do have selectable, of course, oh man, energy modes. Don't look down while you're in the middle of a corner, Mike. So I'm going to go low until we get things kind of up to temperature here, and apologies about the frame rate. That will settle down in just a moment. So initial thoughts, I've had some time to drive the Callahan, and yeah, it's excellent. It's excellent. I expected no less. Look, we can say what we want about, you know, the modding teams focusing too much on mainstream content and how many versions of this car do we really need, and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, Race Sim Studio, they make a fantastic mod. I think in this particular case, though, it's hard to sort of justify because in the case of the United Racing Design car, it's, I think, URD's best work, probably. Or, well, the Radicals are excellent as well. But anyway, among URD's best work. And VRC, I don't like it as much as some other hypercars, but it's still really, really good. Among the best in the VRC lineup for hypercars and for endurance race cars, to be certain. And then Race Sim Studio comes along, so they're competing against that. If we had bad mods, then yeah, okay, there would be a spot. The problem is this is a really, really tight spot for Race Sim Studio to try and squeeze this car into. It's a hole that's been filled by other very talented teams, so they have that to contend with. But yeah, it drives great, it sounds great, the 3D modeling is phenomenal. There's nothing really to complain about. Like, they've done a great job with the electronic systems as well. They took it to a higher level than they had in previous models, and that will soon be applied to the previous cars, to previously released cars, is what I was trying to say. And then we also learned that we will have a Lamborghini, the Lamborghini Hypercar, coming to Assetto Corsa, courtesy of Race Sim Studio as well. So yeah, it's cool. This is you know, the first to use the more advanced electronic systems for regen and deploy from Race Sim Studio. But again, it'll be applied to the old ones eventually, and the Lambo will have it as well, so very cool. And yeah, it's just an excellent car, it truly is. So the big question, is it worth it? If you own either the URD or the VRC car, is it worth it for you to spend your hard-earned money? Unless you're a trust fund baby, no hate, I'm kind of jealous. But assuming you work hard for your money, is it worth investing in a second or third version of this Cadillac? Yeah, leaning toward no. I think the other teams, as I said earlier, did such a great job with this car. I don't know what you would really be missing. The 3D modeling on the URD comes up short. You probably saw it when I did the comparison in the intro. It just doesn't look as good as either the VRC or the RSS model. But how much time do you really spend looking at the exterior of the car? Probably little to none, unless you're a content creator. But yeah, the interior of the URD to me looks fine. It's not on the level of VRC or RSS, but yeah, it's passable. You don't really think about it once you're driving the car, if I'm honest. And so that is probably one of the few areas where I would say, yeah, give RSS a consideration over URD for the Cadillac V-Series.R. But generally, you're not really giving up anything by having the URD or the VRC versus this RSS, so it's tough for me to say, yeah, go spend your hard-earned money on another version of this car. If you're building out a collection of hypercars, of WC hypercars, of course, and you know, want to try all the flavors, is this a good car? Of course, it's phenomenal. This car really has no flaws, and I say that in just about every RSS video. They nail it time after time. Their team is incredibly talented and making some of the best cars you can drive in sim racing, period. It's just unfortunate timing is what it comes down to. And the other big question, I get as many big questions as I want. Okay, it's my video. So big question number 2 is, if you're buying your first version of the Cadillac V-Series.R for Assetto Corsa, what version should you get? Among those I've tried, the URD, VRC, and now RSS, what would I recommend? It is close. It is really, really close. Cost-wise, they're basically the same. It's not going to break you either way. Oh man, I don't know. Probably just, again, based on the 3D modeling, coming up a bit short on URD. To me, it comes down to VRC versus RSS, and frankly, it's too tight to call. Both are excellent cars. Yeah, you're not giving up anything either way. They're really, really good. I don't have a recommendation, if I'm honest. You'll be happy with either car. Both phenomenal driving, sounding, looking, good default paint schemes, although you'll probably head on over to Overtake as soon as you buy it and get a real paint scheme anyway. So yeah, don't really have any recommendation of substance, to be honest. Like, both are fantastic. Let's step this up, by the way. We'll go to balanced mode here, see if we can shave some lap time. Hate turn 1 at Daytona. I historically mess this corner up more than just about any other corner in sim racing, but I managed to get through alive that time. What do we have here? That looks like the Porsche from RSS. It'll be cool to have the Lambo soon too. So yeah, I apologize. I would love to give you guys a verdict on, is this better than the VRC? The truth is, it's not, and neither is the VRC better than this car. Both are great. So yeah, just roll the dice, choose one. You're going to be happy. Both highly enjoyable. But you know, the focus of this video isn't just to compare. The focus of the video is to enjoy my time in this Callahan, and I do. It's really a great car. Race Sim Studio has done awesome. I always look forward to RSS releases, and I know they have more in the pipe. I think we're getting a mid-90s F1 car, if I'm not mistaken. And so that should be very, very exciting. Of course, the Lamborghini Hypercar. And yeah, we'll see what else lies ahead. But yeah, they basically filled out the GT3 class. Oh, I wonder if they're working on an Aston Martin. The Hypercar. That'd be cool. I imagine at least one of the major modding teams is going to take that on in the not too distant future. There's money there. You know, that's the reason ultimately that we have overlap, is because the cars where there is overlap are potentially high sellers, right? Modding teams, sure, it's a passion project to a degree, but it is also a business. They got to make money to keep the lights on around their respective offices, and yeah, the way you do that is make profit. You sell a lot of units, so you got to stick to what people know to a degree. If you get too abstract, people are going to look and say, "What is this? I want my Formula 1 cars. I want my GT3 cars." And I think a good way of doing that, a good way of turning heads and bringing people in, will be the first of the big three modding teams to bring the Aston Martin, that screaming V12, the Valkyrie. Whoa, come on, boys. To Assetto Corsa. Is it the Valkyrie? Why doesn't that sound right? Anyway, to bring the Aston Martin Hypercar to Assetto Corsa. I see a lot of sales for that car whenever that happens, and the question is, who's going to be first to do it? Who's going to snag that money? Because that's going to be a lot of it, is who is first to market. All right, do I have enough juice here? Yeah, I got 90% juice. Let's do a lap on high here. See if we can close this video on a fastest lap. Got a little bit of space ahead of us to run here. About 315 kilometers per hour, trying to time my deceleration into turn 1 correctly, and I did so miserably. So already down a half second by dint of not having a memorized braking point for turn 1 here at Daytona, and trying to maximize my grip through Rodriguez. Look out, Acura. Throwing off my attempt there at a fastest lap. That's alright, I'll get it next lap. In terms of how this compares, by the way, to the other RSS Hypercars, it's probably my favorite, I would say. It's very close anyway. It drives really nice, doesn't feel unruly. A little bit of movement in the rear end, not too much. It's fast in a straight line. Cockpit looks incredible. Yeah, I think this is my favorite of their hypercars. Boy, those brakes are incredible when they're up to temp, man. Wow. All right, so we've got a decent lap here. Probably be 135 and change. No, it won't be. It'll be much higher than that. Alright, let's see if we can do a 135 here. I'll come down to this. Better. Not great, but better. Through the grass there. Had to go inside because of that Porsche. Flat through turn 4. Come on, hold on to that inside line there. Bump over the curb there, unsettle the car slightly. Alright, so about a half second up on my previous best. We should be into the 135s here. All goes according to plan. Try not to outbrake myself here through the bus stop. Oh, it was the opposite. Got a little understeer there. Wasn't the worst, but not great either. Around turn 11 for likely the last time, unless I slightly miss 135. Oh, I can't stand it. Oh boy. Oh. All right, I was gonna push for a 135, but instead I almost stalled. Thankfully, there is an anti-stall system. So, do we go for one more? Well, first of all, get myself out of harm's way here. Yeah, let's go. We're having a good time with this Callahan. Switch to build, get that juice back up to 100%, see what we can do for an improvement of our lap time. Please move, please move. Ooh, Lambo with the elbows out. Lambo saying, don't forget about me, there already is a great Race Sim Studio Lambo. Big, long line of cars here. What's going on in front of me? I'll try and get past these guys as soon as possible. I think probably bunch up in the bus stop. Oh, door to door. No respect for the blue flags. Alright, let's crank this bad boy up. Let's go for it here. See what we can do for a fastest lap. Alright. The seas have parted. The stage is set. Green flag drops. Come on, hold on to it. There we go. Couldn't even see the apex. I was so far off on that. Come on, punch it. So down about 1.5 tenths. Nearly on pace. Come on, Mike. Let's go. Slightly up on my previous best now. Question is, how is this going to play out? This traffic, I mean, through the bus stop. Might get a little bit of aero assistance here from the car in front. Question is, can they stay out of my way long enough through the bus stop? Porsche. Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be real close. Come on, let's see what we got here. If not, I am honestly very happy to go again. What are we at here? Yes, 35s. Okay. Well, what a car. Phenomenal. Bad timing on the release overall. Yeah. It's unfortunate that we have two great versions of this car already. Well, not unfortunate. It's good for VRC. It's good for URD. But yeah, so it's a great car. Make your choice. I think you won't be unhappy with either the URD, the VRC, or the RSS version. To me, my preferences are the VRC or RSS, and they're basically even. Both phenomenal cars. Well done to Race Sim Studio. Link is in the description if you want to buy the car and support this channel. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the replay, and we'll see you next time.